Well, hello racing fans, and a warm welcome to our Gallop TV preview show for Turffontein, the inside track on Thursday, the 18th of January. And we're building up to what it promises to be one of the race meetings of the season. Of course, the World Sports Betting Met, and that is, let's call it, a week and a half's time. But what's on the go on Thursday at Turffontein? Well, there's 9 races carded, so the exotics would all begin in race number 2. And an odd time, 13:01, will be the start of the exotics. And as always, we've got Alistair Cohen on the line. And with all this interrupted racing that we're having throughout the country, whether it's lightning delays, rain, it is something that we have to deal with. But let's speak to Alistair, who's down in the Western Cape. And they seem to be having things fine when it comes to weather. Alistair, good day to you.
Other than the wind, Dees, good day to all the viewers here. The wind in the Western Cape is taking some getting used to. The last couple of days have been, quite something to see. I saw one of those cigarette bins just go flying down the coast the other day. That's how strong the wind has been, which is probably the reason why the weather further east, northeast, has been such a mess. Because my sources in Joburg, I'll be heading back to Joburg not from next month, but I'll be spending a little bit of time in Joburg again from February and splitting my time, so I'll be able to give you more accurate weather forecast more often than not. But the point is, my sources tell me Joburg Wednesday morning is quite grim and under the weather. But looking at the forecast going forward, looks like things might clear on Thursday, so hopefully we'll get it on the road. And having missed out on Wednesday's racing at Hollywoodbets Greyville, I think the pools will be better than average coming into this Thursday meeting. And I don't mind the card either. I think we can make a bit of inroads here.
Yeah, it all works on levels, and I think the higher the number, the worse the weather, and there's some level 4s and level 5s that the guys are experiencing around the country, especially in KZN. So, race number 1 at 12:26, 1,450 meters, a work riders race. And let's go into the horses that are in single figures, as always. Number 1 at 6-1, number 3 at 4-1. Hollywoodbets, there is some money for horse number 5 from 12-1 into 7-1. Number 6 is at 16-10. And then we've got a first timer from the Mike de Kock yard at 5-2. I don't know if you've heard anything with regards to the first timer, but this horse, more than all, I see must be judged betting-wise on that penultimate start rather than that last run. And is the right horse on the top of the betting boards? By the way, number 6, I mentioned 16-10. It's not. It's 16-1 into 10-1 on Hollywoodbets. So, how are we playing race number 1? Is there anything that we can go for?
Indeed, I think there are better races on the card to make a bit of money. For example, More Than All, I'm not convinced, although coming back with excuses, valid excuses last time, having been reported not striding out. She was still well beaten by Ice Cap, and Ice Cap is no great shake. So I'm not sure that this is the type of race you want to trust with the bank balance. When looking around, there are a few pieces of form. Higgledy Piggledy, the horse that they've come for behind Beating Wings last time. Beating Wings, a subsequent winner, as was Succumbit. Darling Harbour came out and ran second, and Higgledy Piggledy rather performed. The horse who ran behind Higgledy Piggledy came out and ran third. So I think that level of form is got to be something to look at. But then when you look a little bit closer, Ice Cap finished in front of Higgledy Piggledy last time. I know Alex Iteto quite well. He takes a ride on Higgledy Piggledy. He is Candace Dawson's main work rider, so nice to see him getting an opportunity from the Aussies. I know that he's been swinging by to help out the Aussies, so hence he's got the ride here, number 5, Higgledy Piggledy. And the other horse that interests me here is number 2, Liberty Flag, under Impi Lukele for Shailen Nadu. 7-start maiden, hard to get carried away about her chances. But I think that we can make a little money here between numbers 2 and 5. Perhaps a swinger, perhaps trifecta quartet with those 2 numbers included. But like I said, if your budget is 100 Rand on the day, then keep this 1 to 10 Rand maximum.
And the Winston Chow first timer, owned and bred, obviously on the lack of opposition, the fixed odds betting market taking no chances, but you'd possibly expect this horse to drift out if not fancied by the stable come race time.
believe needs further. As you say, not the type of, she won't have to be a world beater, just needs to have a leg in every corner to at least be dangerous here. But from what I hear, needs further, D. So, yeah, definite chance of earning money. Wouldn't take much to earn a little bit of money in this race. When you actually have a look at the family, which I've just called up now, it is a half-sister to Mambo Camtesio, who started his career over 1450, ran fifth to Sharapova, but then won over 1,800 meters, 2.4 and 2.6. So that is evidence of the fact that this filly is likely to need further. In fact, Mambo Camtesio is the full brother.
Yep, nice to see these colors back, the colors of red and orange of Winston Chow. Race number 2, kicking off the bar pot. You'll need to get on by 13:01. It's over 1,000 meters. And here we go with the betting. Number 1, 6 to 10. Number 2 at 4-1. 4 at 15-2, 5 at 8-1, and it's double figures, the balance. 6 to 10 shot, obviously coming off the 7-month break. Is this a bar pot banker?
We're playing with marked cards here because Articuno was due to run last week when coming back from a layoff. And the money and the talk was there. So obviously the confidence was around. When you have a look at that Just Be Lacquer form from Turffontein on the 11th of June, that feels like a long time ago. Just Be Lacquer won, Lady Elliott won, Mia Moo ran third in a grade 3 over the weekend. Striking Angel has won. Mary's Green Light competed in a grade 3 over the weekend. So that's just super strong form. Be interesting, when you look at indirect lines of form, Articuno finished in front of Mia Moo in the run to Just Be Lacquer, and Gold Agent was beaten 4 lengths by Mia Moo. Gold Agent has blinkers on for the first time, is a daughter of Gold Standard, who had the best weekend of his stallion career last weekend, but purely on indirect form lines, Articuno has number 2 Gold Agent safely held. I'll be disappointed if she doesn't win. 6 to 10, that's the price we've got to take.
Yeah, banker in the bar pot, race 2, horse number 1. The place accumulator at 13:36, 1,000 meters. It's a maiden plate. Betting number 1 at 17 to 10. And then we have number 6. Hear this, Alistair. 17 to 10, 6, 15 to 10, 7, 18 to 10. It's suffocating the way they got this at the top of the betting boards. Tight, tight, tight. There's no room to breathe. And you don't often see this, where these horses, especially at the top, you'll get some margin of difference with regards to separation, one from the other. But they want the punters to make up their minds here, Alistair. 17 to 10, 1, 6 at 15 to 10, and 7 at 18 to 10. Can you split them?
These I can't. The good news is in the place accumulator, you probably only need one horse because I can't see any of the other 4 getting into the play. Maybe Lord Down on Platina at a bit of a stretch can show that first run again with blinkers for the first time, and Samango Kamalo from an inside draw. But the place accumulator, I don't think we need to complicate it. In the bar pot, we can go with 2 horses. Which one is going to win for me? I'll tell you what, if Thing Called Love hadn't been raced at 198 days, I'd be all over her. Because of the run to Red Bomber and obviously to Ampersand, I think that level of form is far better than the runs to Hillary Step and Inner Fix that Glawari brings, and certainly better than what Capola represents out of Sakala Tulu. So I'm leaning towards 7 over 6, but come race time, I might go 6 over 7. I'm just a little bit flummoxed about which way I'm going to go. I'm going to give the Funfurion Yard the benefit of the doubt. I think if she's got any ability, she'll be ready enough to turn over an 8-start maiden in the form of Glawarian. I like to see Sakala Istatulu confirm that run. Interestingly enough, the blinkers have come off, and at the time of recording, the blinkers on back on. So maybe the son of William Longsword is running without the headgear. Certainly at the time of recording, he is.
Okay, you're siding with the fillies there, number 6 and 7, and they should be good enough for the bar pot and the place accumulator, race number 3. Then on to the big one, the pick 6, 1411, 1450 meters, maiden plate. And let's go with the betting here. Number 2, Mastership, unusually for Diane Stinger's runner, 18 to 10 into 13 to 10. Now they say unusually so because of the stable, not of the form of the horse. Number 3 is at 4-1. Then we go on to a 15 to 2 shot in horse number 10. And I've just taken out a betting on one runner here, Alistair, number 11 at 12-1. And I just want your opinion on why the horse is at 12-1 after that very good introduction. And I know things went south last time out, but you know what? We have to judge the horse on a debut run, not just on that last start, which the betting market has done. And that's a 12-1 shot. But maybe your concern will be the breathing issues. How many horses in the pick six and an opinion on number 11?
3 horses, Dees, to answer your question. The pick six is my suggested bet for the day, so we don't need to make up a pick six as we go along. The reason why number 11, Le Grand Cafe, isn't in, A, is because of the breathing noises and the tongue tie comes off, and, well, obviously his run without the tongue tie was his best run. But with that said, the run without the tongue tie came behind Dubai Hills, and there is no weaker form line in Joburg, in my opinion. So that was a work riders maiden with some very, very moderate horses around Le Grand Cafe are professional maidens. Lady Greensleeves, let's have a look at Lady Greensleeves. That's run double figures amounts of time. So that's the level of form. I think the Le Grand Cafe will certainly need to improve. So 1, 2, and 10 are my numbers. My top choice is number 2, Mastership. No surprise to see the son of Master of My Fate being favourite, and also finding a bit of support. Draw one's a massive, massive advantage. He's a lovely son of Master of My Fate, this Mastership. He's run to some nice horses. I think the Virgin River form, and we'll talk about that later on in the card, I think the Virgin River form is up there with the strongest piece of form, certainly in Joburg. Maiden form, that is, because, and I went through it the other day, Virgin River runs later on in the card. I think that he's above average. Midwinter Wind, although fluffing his lines, I think is just a maiden ready to win. Presley's won. There's Mastership. Down the page, Forgiveness is won. Sakala is Tulu, improved out of sight. Sea Shanty was beaten a long way by Virgin River. That's run at the string of places. Inner Fix beaten 16 lengths, has come out and won. Gold Agent runs earlier in the card. I think that should at least run in the first 3. So I think that he's got the best capabilities of anyone. Interestingly enough, this is a half-brother to the horse that Tony Peter now has, that Clear Sailing. That's the mother's name, rather. Rulership, rather. So number 2, Mastership, I think will take all the beating here if the cheek pieces don't have an adverse effect. Hopefully that's just there to help him finish off his race. 1, Van Mile, probably one of the best bred horses in the country. Close to that, he's related to a number of very well-performed horses. Gavin Lorena takes a ride. Well, I've lost a bit of faith in this horse, Van Mile, if I'm honest. But the reason why I'm just giving him the benefit of the doubt one more time is because there was serious money for him last time out. So maybe there's a bit of word out. It was his first run as a gelding, first run after a rest. But if he doesn't at least go close here, I might lose a bit of hope in the Son of Dynasty. And then number 10, Battle of Barberton. I was at the Val when he made his debut behind Royal Edition. It was a bit disappointing, but he's a lovely son of Lancaster Bomber. And if he has come on after the gelding and gets over from the deep draw, I refuse to believe that there's not a racehorse in there somewhere. So 1, 2, and 10 for me.
1, 2, and 10 for the pick six here, Alistair Cohen. And he's suggesting that number 2, Mastership, the right horse, so the anti-post money could be spot on there. Race number 5, 2,000 meters. Fillies and mares, 75 handicap. Time of recording. Number 1 is a scratching. So, betting. Number 3, Jess Lemon. Alistair singled this one out last time out. 1. Number 4, Pretty in Pearls. I Like This. That was the exacta. 28 to 10, 3. 33 to 10, number 4. Number 6, Universal Love, 22 to 10. Then number 7 at 7 to 1. Alistair, 3 and 4, obviously we know the form line. Well done last time out. And the money did come race time for Rose 11, so you were on the mark there. Number 6, Universal Love. Are you giving her another chance?
I have to, Dees. I have to give her another chance. I think this is the hardest race on the card. I think we need to be careful in the race. I think we need to look for, I think we need to cast our nets as wide as possible. So this is what I've done. I've gone 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, and 8. Obviously, the number 1, Spring in Heaven, was a winner last week and has been scratched due to insufficient recovery time. Otherwise, I would have been brave enough to go in with a banker. So let's go through it. I think number 2, Princess Kesh, just about cherry ripe to go close, and it could be a shrewd move from Heather Adamson to employ the services of Trent Mayhew, claiming 4. So that will help her cause to no end. She's run with a lot better. Like I said, down in class, 56 kilos on her back. I think number 2, Princess Kesh, will go well enough. 3, Rosie Lemons, just in too good form at this level to ignore. So she's obviously, and number 4, Pretty in Pearls, wherever Rosie Lemon is, Pretty in Pearls ought to go close. Although I think Rosie Lemon had enough in hand when beating Pretty in Pearls last time, and I think that might remain the same case this time around, I'd feel uncomfortable not having Pretty in Pearls in, because 1 1/4 lengths for half a kilo deficit. You just need Pretty in Pearls just to find a little bit more in Rosie Lemon to have an off day for that to reverse. 6, Universal Love. I'm a tragic believer in this daughter of Ideal Will. Craig Zaki takes the right. Draw 1's a big advantage. 7, Azaleas for All. I'm taking more of a stab that she ran with boys last time. Fashimi Anari ran a place out of that form line. Muzi Yeni has chosen Azaleas for All. I think he would have had the phone ringing with quite a few in this race. Not that I'd get overly excited about the chances of Martinique and Anne with an E, and who else was Spring in Heaven, obviously scratched. So Muzi's gone with number 7, Azaleas for All. I'll take his word on trust there. And number 8, Anne with an E, having run to Give Me Another last time, Washel mowing off a winner on Tuesday at the Val with Mighty Goddess. Lightweight with Anne with an E, she absolutely dominated a very weak work riders race when getting out of the maidens. But her post-maiden run could have been worse. And if you run 6 lanes to Give Me Another, then you can very easily beat a field of this nature.
Alistair making it very tricky. We'll see what his bet comes to at the end of the show. His suggested bet is a pick 6, and here he's playing it very, very wide. And Universal Love, well, cheek pieces off, blinkers on. Let's see if she can bounce back to some of her better form. But wide for Alistair in race number 5 over 2,000 meters. Tricky race. The 6th race, a merit weighted 99 open handicap for 3-year-olds. It's over 1,600 meters. And let's go to the betting. Number 1 at 2-1, number 2 at 11-2, 3 at 5-2, 4 at 6-1, and then we got that's it. The other runners are all in double figures. So the 2-1 shot here. Now Heather Adamson's runner, is that the right horse?
There's half a kilo for Eiffel Tower to play with for half a length. I think it'll get close between the two. What I also like about Eiffel Tower's chances, let me rather rephrase that. What I'm a little bit worried about with Biofarmer is that he now comes to the Turffontein inside track where he's raced twice. And I know he ran second to Taylor the Comet. It was a good second to Taylor the Comet of level weights. I still, just watching him last time out, he looks like he takes just a second longer to kick in than everything around him, whereas Eiffel Tower had committed. So I think Eiffel Tower will be more effective on the inside track than number 1 Biofarmer. I have no real evidence to say that Eiffel Tower will be an inside track specialist. He's only been on the course once before, and he ran third to House of Romanov over 1,700 meters. But I like both horses as pure individuals, and I think that they'll run big races and they could easily fight it out. But I'm with Eiffel Tower over number 1 Biofarmer simply on the inside track. The only piece of backup I've got here is number 9 Just Nuisance. He was hammered out of sight by Tegan's Champ at his penultimate start, but Tegan's Champ is still unbeaten. Whether he's good enough to win a grade 1 Tegan's Champ, I don't know, but he's definitely good enough to compete and be dangerous to the likes of Sandringham Summit and Main Defender and the other 3-year-old guns around Joburg, and ultimately getting down to champion season in KZN, which by the way is not too far away. I always use the King's Cup as my marker, and that's only 2 months away. So I think number 9 Just Nuisance is capable of a lightweight to give them something to think about, numbers 1 and 3. And then 2 other horses that I think deserve mentions for trifecta and quartet purposes. 5 Tamil Tigress. I'm a believer in this daughter of William Longsword. Serena Mudley and Lorenzo Karim have teamed up with good success lately. I see they're going to Durban over the weekend, which I'll be watching closely. And Crepuscola, another horse I don't think is all that bad. He's a good-looking son of New Predators. Last run was not good at all. I don't think he can win the race, but if he does run into the first ball, I'll be happy for my quartet.
This filly, number 2, Platina Princess, I have to bring her up because Now, as a juvenile, because of the way she started off her career, you can see how Mike placed her. She is a filly that I always keep going back to and, hoping that there's something still there.
So, interestingly enough, probably judging her on her last run is unfair because there was a school of thought that she should have been made a non-runner. She got what was classified by some as an unfair start. The Starps saw it differently, so we got to go with what the Starps saw. She's obviously run to a lot better. I'm not sure she's the same filly that she was as a 2-year-old when she beat Spirit Princess. Spirit Princess is now in PE and not earning any money. She was the only horse in the race when it came to that KZN Breeders' Race when beating She Can. There wasn't much there. I know that she's kept better company than this field. I'm not sure she's trained on these.
Yeah, that is it. Can she bounce back to her best? Is she just having a flat run and Mike can get to the bottom of things? That is the big question mark with number 2, Platina Princess. Because if she does come back to that reputation and form that she shows as a juvenile, wow, she could really go close in this type of field at around 11-2. But Alistair suggesting numbers 1 and 3, the right horses at the top of the betting boards. His backup is an outsider, number 9, Just Nuisance. Race number 7, middle stakes, 1,600 meters. The betting here, number 3, Red Bomber. Really like the look of this. Wow, I know that the horse has been a bit costly to follow if you've gone for him post-maiden, but the 1,600 meter trip I think is going to be ideal. Another horse that's going to love the step up in distance is the 33-10 shot, number 6, Command Pilot. By the way, number 3, 22-10, 5, 8-1, 6, 33-10, 8 at 8-1, and this horse, Quantum, is trading at 3-1. Yeah, I like the look of Red Bomber, but I got respect for Alec Laird's runner, number 6, Command Pilot. If I had to narrow it down, I'll just go with the 2 runners, numbers 3 and 6.
I'm shocked that you've given the 3-1 about Quantum. I thought you took down the wrong price. 3-1 about Quantum for beating Mighty Goddess. I know she's got no weight on her back, but she's taking on some seriously progressive 3-year-olds. I honestly, I'm astonished. I thought that you had that wrong, but there she is. She's 3-1, these. I've gone 3, 6, and 8 in my PA, so we singing from the same, my pick 6 rather. We're singing from the same hymn sheet. I bank number 3, Red Bomber, in the PA. I am still bemoaning the fact that this horse got beaten last time by Texas Red. I was all in. I had all the confidence in the world. I thought that he was an absolute good thing in the middle stakes last time out, and he got outrun by Texas Red. Texas Red giving him weight. I think Red Bomber's a better horse than Command Pilot. I think Red Bomber's a better horse than anyone else in this race, but just a bit gun shy whether I'm going to banker him, and that's the reason why I've backed him up. 6, Command Pilot, was an eye catcher last time out. He stayed on really strongly behind Prince of Green. He gave Prince of Green a kilo. I don't think Prince of Green's a mug by any stretch of the imagination. Was the second one after rest. He'll be a better horse. Laird's Yard's going along nicely. He struck up an association with Diego de Gavea. Good on them. 6, Command Pilot, big player. There's a lot to like about him as a racehorse. And number 8, Lutuli. I've always got time for the Son of Crusade. He's done me a few favours along the way. I remember the day that he won at the Turffontein Inside Track when beating Green Light Magic. I couldn't sing his praises highly enough. 52 kilos on his back in this middle stake, obviously not being a true handicap. I give him a solid each way chance, more of a place chance than a win chance. If the market's in our favour and we can take advantage of potentially a lofty place payout, whether it's fixed odds or total operated, I think that's probably the angle with number 8, Lutuli. But 3 and 6, definitely the horses they all need to beat. The obvious reason why Quantum is the short price that she is because it's a middle stakes and she comes in with a light weight, but I think the progressive horses will have a number here.
You must have heard I actually paused when I went to Quantum and read out those odds. I started doubting myself because a 3 can look at an 8, especially with my handwriting. So I actually doubted myself. But she is a 3-1 shot, number 10, Quantum. So Alec Laird does hold a strong hand with both those runners, but Alistair agreeing that numbers 3 and 8 look to be the principals. But Fabian Habib, how is Fabian Habib going, Alistair? Wow, he just can't put a foot wrong.
He can't. Did you get his stable information yesterday again? No punctuation, just one full deep breath and talk and talk and talk. Not a full stop, not a hyphen, not a comma, not a capital letter. Absolutely superb. And he left with 2 winners, and he only had only represented in 2 races. Good on him.
Yeah, well done to Fabian. Stable's really on a string. Race number 8, 1,000 meters, merit rated 75 handicap. They're betting here the penultimate race on the card. Number 1 at 7-1. Number 3 at 28-10. 4 at 3-1. 6 is at 7-2. 7 at 5-1. And then we got Cityscape number 10. I think that's from 10-1 into 14-1. Yeah, when I looked at this race, I said, help, try and narrow this down for us, because I think if you get through this leg of whatever bet you are playing, I made its jackpot 2 or the pick 6, I think you are a winner if you can go through with the minimum spend. Can you help us reduce the perm to less than 5 runners in the pick 6?
I've got 4 Ds. I'm excited to have 4 runners in the pick 6. I'm actually annoyed, though, because Cityscape was my all-time each-way play of the day last Thursday when we lost that meeting. I liked Cityscape so much. It was in the right race, the right weight, first run in Joburg, taking on shallow fillies and mares. And look, draw 1's going to be a big advantage. But taking on boys, I can see why there's money for Cityscape. I like Cityscape. She's in my play. But from making her nearly a banker a week ago at a big price, I've just had to cast the net a little bit wider. These are the horses that I've cast the net wider with. Number 3, Kalahari Blue. This is the other side of my annoyance on this race. If it was a 1,200-meter race, I would bank in number 3, Kalahari Blue. If you look at his run on the 9th of September at Turffontein, another stride he gets up to beat Mika's Bomb. I think that 1,100 meters would be the absolute perfect distance for the son of Kwarari. Either side of that, I think that he just struggles. I know that he won his maiden over 1,200 meters, and I think he's better over 1,200 meters than he is over 1,000. But with that said, he might just be running out of real estate over the closing stages. With that said, he's my top choice because I think he's the most reliable horse in the race. 4 Var Park, a better 1,000-meter horse than Kalahari Blue. He's got 2 wins in his career. Both of them have come over this trip. Jared Penny takes her out. Hopefully he came a cropper after the last race at the Val on Tuesday, so I heard that he's okay. It looked like a fairly innocuous fall, but those can often be the worst ones. But I hope he's all right. I've not heard anything, so hopefully he'll take the ride on the horse that he won on last time. Been in good form of late since the break. 4 Var Park, hard to ignore. And I put in number 8, Beaded Gown. I've read this daughter of Rafif quite well along the way, and I think coming to the inside track where she's got the right type of turn of foot to be dangerous on the inside track. She won her maiden Hollywoodbets Greyville. You remember that. We were playing golf that day with a few guys when she cracked her maiden Hollywoodbets Greyville a couple of years ago, and then she went to the inside track and won. So I think the type turning course is to her preference, and that's why I've got number 8, Beaded Gownan.
Just want to touch on this horse, Cityscape. When I mentioned 20-1 into 14-1, you'll get to meet all of them. And if you're listening in as a valued racing fan, you may know some of them as well. But there's different types of people that play the game. I mean, there's guys that will play the game with a budget on a daily basis, or whatever bet they like. They religiously support the tote, or they like a horse and they have a bet on the nose. But then the flip side to that is that you get guys that make a living out of this game, and they got their finger on the pulse. And I exactly know what would have happened. Yep, they would have listened into the show last week on Cityscape and said, wait for it to race again. When the betting comes out, we'll have a go. And they priced the horse up at 20-1. And after the confidence last week on the show, where Alistair tipped it, 20-1 is gone. 14-1. Alistair doesn't think it's the right race. He thought maybe last week was the right race for her, but don't ride her out. Number 10, Cityscape. He's making it a bit more competitive than that. His numbers here, he will give at the end of the show for the pick 6. But hopefully that 20-1 is good value about number 10, Cityscape, because Alistair did like the horse last week. Race number 9, 1,200 meters, fillies and mares. 85 handicap. At the time of recording, number 2 is a scratching. Let me give you the betting here, Alistair. Number 1 is at 28-10. Number 3, Wings Within Me at 7-2. Number 4, Virgin River, that's at 4-1. Then we got number 5 from 33-1 into 20-1. We got form updates here for number 8, ran 5th, beaten 6 lengths by Turbo Power. And number 9, 10 lengths behind. There she goes. Those are the 2 form updates with both those runners. And number 13 is out. I want to talk about this horse, Virgin River, but not the form. I want to talk about that last start because I'll tell you what, I often will just, have a quick look at what's forthcoming. And I see Cullinan Blue takes on Troppe Veloce in the Swallow Stakes over the weekend. And I'm going to see how they price that one up because that's going to be very interesting for the weekend, that Swallow Stakes. That looks like those 2 horses should dominate the betting. So for Virgin River to run that close to Cullinan Blue, who looks to be progressing rapidly from the Crawford stable, do you make that a good run?
D's, I make Virgin River a very hard horse to beat. I make it a big run. In my opinion, she might have gone a little bit too hard. That is her way. But also, using that as my opinion, that the inside track might be up her alley. She's got a bit of an awkward draw to overcome. It's made one position easier with the current scratching and number 2, Good Queen Bess. So she comes into 8 out of 12 at the time of recording, which is not a train smash. It would rather be 8 out of 12 than 9 out of 13, in my opinion. But the point is she's got the gate speed to get over. If Diego can sit just not even a second longer, but just be able to keep a lid on her a little bit more, she'll be able to finish her race. I think she's an above average filly. To what extent, I don't know. But if I look at Chrome Tourmaline, who has got a great turn of foot, it's actually interesting how they both work out here. Virgin River's got the pace to kill anyone, and Chrome Tourmaline's got the turn of foot to kill anyone, certainly at this type of level. A soft track might help Chrome Tourmaline, might slow it up a little bit more, so that might help Chrome Tourmaline keep up with the field and be closer to pounce than what is normally the case. But I still think Virgin River, to me, she ran a little bit freely, a bit wet behind the ears last time out. And I think with that run of experience under the belt and being a believer of the win that she brought out on Betway Summer Cup Day, I make her a banker. I make her great value at 4-1. I think that she might even start closer to the top of the boards come race time over number 1, Chrome Tourmaline. I like her, D's.
Well, that is what you need. When you get the green light and you got Alistair, who certainly does his homework, has a look at the opposition and makes a go of it. And he's made a go of it here in race number 9 with a 4-1 shot. And that is where pick sixes are won. And if this has to arrive, well, you'll certainly drop tickets with numbers 1 and 3. And if this has to go, wow, this will be great for the pick 6, number 4, Virgin River, especially as a banker. So, Alistair Cohen, what's your suggested bet for this race meeting on the Thursday?
I'm going for gold, D's. I've got the pick 6 as my suggested bet on Thursday. So this is how I played it. Gets underway at 11 minutes past 2. I bet you any amount of money they could run it at 10 past 2 if they really wanted to. But anyway, that's where we are. So I've gone 1, 2, and 10. The first leg, Van Mile, Mastership, and Battle of Barberton. The second leg, I don't like. You need horses here. So I've gone with 2, Princess Cash, 3, Rosie Lemon, 4, Pretty and Pearl, 6, Universal Love, 7, Azaleas for All, and 8, Anne with an E. By 1, 3, and 9, Biofarmer, Eiffel Tower, and Just Nuisance. Then in race 7, I've gone with 3 horses, Red Bomber number 3, 6 Command Pilots, and 8 Latuli. About 4 horses in race 8, so those are 3 Kalahari Blue, 4 Var Park, 8 Beat Gown, and 10 Cityscape. And then the banker waiting on the last, number 4, Virgin River.
So that's Alistair Cohen's pick 6 for this Thursday, the 18th of January. We thank him for his time and his effort that he's put into this card, and he's gone for the big one. The pick 6. So he's given us the graph with the race card, and I've given him the proper graph to sort out his sciatica, and hopefully everything falls into place. All the best trying to heal that back of yours, Alistair.
Easier, we'll get it fixed. Chiropractor appointment as I put the phone down with you.
Well, you wouldn't need it after those exercises I told you. I almost assure that because I've been a chronic sufferer, and I can tell you that I'm cured. Alistair Cohen, thanks for his time. Thanks to you, the valued racing fan, on behalf of the entire team at Gallop TV. You have a blast, find all the winners, make a huge profit, and hopefully it turns out to be a very successful day for you on this Thursday at Turffontein. Until we meet again, you take care. Salani Gashle.